Yes, it's Gretchen, and welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing well out there in quarantine land with social distancing. For today's video, we are going to be doing another one of my monthly segments where I answer your body mod questions. Each month, I ask you all if you have any questions for me, whether they pertain particular to me or just body mods in general. Like if you have any kind of questions, now is the time to ask them, because I will answer them in this video. I tend to get more questions on Instagram than I do on YouTube, but I am gonna start with my YouTube questions first. Usually I only look at the previous body mods video when picking those questions for this video. So let's just get into it. Hi Gretchen, my question is, do you think that if you do a certain cartilage piercing, it can affect your hearing? I'm asking you this because I heard some rumors, and as an unexperienced person with cartilage piercings, don't know whether to or not to believe in them. So I've heard this too. I've heard this primarily with conch piercings, like if you get a conch punch, so if it's more than a regular, stud or hoop in there, if it's a larger gauge size. I have heard that sometimes because of how your ear works, it acts as a tunnel, so the sound goes in and then goes through, into your ear canal. And if you have conch punch, if it's a bigger hole, that sound can escape through the back, through the hole. So I've heard that too. That's the only one that I've heard it connected with. I haven't heard it for tragus or rook or DAITH stuff before. I have heard the same thing regarding conch piercings. I don't know if it actually is true. I've known people with conch punches where it's a much larger size than normal. Some have said that they've noticed a little bit decline in their hearing. Some have said they haven't. I honestly think it just depends on the person, maybe depends on the placement, maybe depends on the size. I wouldn't take rumors to heart too much, but maybe someone out there with, a large conch punch size or anything like that, maybe they would be better at answering this. So if you have something like that, respond below if your hearing has been affected. Otherwise, cartilage piercings, I haven't experienced anything. What type of nostril jewelry feels the most comfortable to you? I was pierced with corkscrew and I hate it. Oh gosh, you were pierced with a corkscrew? Corkscrew is not my favorite. I'll take corkscrew faster than just, nose bone. I do not like nose bones. I don't feel that they're stable, that they'll actually stay in there. At least with a corkscrew, it's not gonna just pop out. But I personally prefer either an L shape, or I prefer to use a labret. I always get corrected no matter which way I say it. I like to do that, the push kind. That's currently what I have in my nostril piercings, is something that you might put in a Medusa piercing instead, or even in your regular cartilage piercings. I just personally like that because I feel it stays in better, but otherwise I like L-shaped ones. Have you considered getting dermals? I have considered getting dermals before. I honestly don't think they would be good for me because I know that I'd most likely rip one out. I'd get it and immediately it would yank on something. I've considered them before, but I don't think I ever would get them. Does your Medusa piercing catch on your gums? Mine caught on my gum line and I had to take it out. I am so sorry, that really sucks. I haven't noticed it catching on my gums before, but when it was brand new and the post was really long, it caught on my teeth a lot and that was painful. But now it doesn't. When do you know when to stop cleaning your piercings? Love your videos. I never stop cleaning my piercings, even when they're healed. I just don't clean them as much or as vigorously as I do during the healing process. So even now, most of my cartilage piercings are completely healed. That being said, I still will go in with a Q-tip and H2O on either end and just kind of clean up around there. As for when I know to stop cleaning a piercing, if it's been healed, if I notice that it's not creating a lot of gunk around there, or if it doesn't feel as sore, or if it's not as hot or anything like that you might experience during the healing process, that's when I know, okay, I can back off now and just kind of touch it up every so often. All right, so these next two questions came from different people, but they're very similar. Did you have issues wearing in earbuds after getting your conch pierced? Can you wear earbuds with your DAITH? So to answer both, conch I've never had a problem with earbuds. DAITH, I have before, but once it's healed, it's fine. You just kind of have to finagle it a little bit more, get it in there once it was completely healed. Now I will say, if it's still in the healing process, don't even try, because one, you'll stop the healing process and it'll basically start all over because it just kind of messes with it. But definitely wait till it's healed, and then at that point you kind of learn how to get it in there so it doesn't irritate it, but then it also feels comfortable for you to have it in. Does a DAITH piercing heal better with a curved barbell or a hoop? I would think maybe a curved barbell just because it's less of a curve than a hoop. However, I will say I had a captive bead in mine, so it was a hoop. Yes, I had some issues with my DAITH piercing, which you can see over here. But I would say maybe the captive barbell, but because I didn't go through that, I don't entirely know. So if anyone had their DAITH pierced with a curved barbell, let us know in the comments below how it went for you. What's next in your piercing journey? Definitely my second forward helix. Definitely my center labrae. I don't know, those are my two big ones right now. But when I get out of all of this, those two. How does one properly clean a Medusa piercing, and what do you think about Ashley piercings? Medusa piercing, you clean it like you might any other oral piercing. So what I found to clean this side, basically just take a Q-tip with some H2 lotion on the end and clean around it. So to clean inside your mouth, I would take Neomed, which I definitely recommend for any piercing. I like H2 lotion too, but this one definitely for oral piercings. And the main reason why is because this nozzle is tilted and you can have it upside down, any direction, and it'll still spray. And so what I would do is I would take this Neomed, shove it in my mouth, spray in there, and then spit out the remains. Super simple, one of the easiest piercings I had to heal. Definitely recommend this if you don't have it or have never used it. As for an Ashley piercing, that's the one that goes like straight through your bottom lip, correct? I personally would not get one done, but I do think they're really cute. I don't know how that works though. Like I'm looking at a picture right now and like, does it just go through the back of the lip? I don't know. It's cute, but I wouldn't get one done. What's your opinion on children getting piercings age 7 and up? So I've answered this one before and I've kind of changed my thoughts on it a little bit, depending. Now, I'm still very much against babies getting their ears pierced. They don't understand what's going on. So I definitely think they should wait until they have a little bit more understanding. But as you say here, ages 7 and up, I mean, I was 7 or 8 when I got my first lobe piercings done with a gun. We didn't know any better. I mean, if they want to get like their lobes done, yeah. I probably wouldn't let cartilage happen on like my future children. I would wait until they're teenagers. I'm not even sure. Do places allow cartilage piercings on children that young, like 13 years old? Because I know they'd have to have a parent permission if they're under 18, but like where's the guideline? Like I doubt they'd let a 7-year-old get a cartilage. I don't know. But I'm okay with lobes being done, but when it comes to like babies, no. When it comes to like 7 and up, yeah, get your lobes done. How the heck do you change your own piercings? I always have to go in. So I can change pretty much anything on the outside. I can change my rook as long as I have enough time dedicated to it. I cannot change my DAITH. I will not change it. Ever since that one video over here where I basically had to re-pierce myself because I couldn't get it back in, I refuse to touch that myself. Anything else I can change, but I refuse to touch this one. I haven't changed my forward helix yet though. That'll be interesting. I don't think that'll be too bad. Best place to buy plugs. I'm personally a fan of Urban Body Jewelry, but I do know that Body Candy has some good ones. Body J For You has some good ones. Body Art Forms is really good. I just gravitate more to Urban Body Jewelry. But you have a lot of options online. Just make sure that you look for good quality ones. How has your tragus been healing? So this person is referring to my newest tragus. I do have both done. This one's been done for a few years. This one I got done in January of this year, I think. It's doing fine. It's got a little bit of a hiccup right now. It's a little bit tender. Don't know why. I think I may have accidentally rolled over on it. So it's a little bit tender when I touch it, but it's not gunking up. It's not bleeding. It's not crusty. It's just sore right now. So it's going through waves of doing well. Definitely not completely healed yet, but almost, I feel like. Do you have any problems with your ear piercings when going to the hairdresser? All the time. Luckily, my hairdresser like knows and is as careful as she can be, but I will say the worst time is when I get my hair washed. Like if we're washing out color or something like that, it is terrible because the hair gets wrapped around it and then she'll accidentally like, I don't want to say yank, but she'll pull back and I'm sitting there going like, please tell me it's still there. Yeah, I definitely have problems, but my hairdresser is amazing and she's very conscious of everything going on. What is your thought process from when you first got mods to how you feel it affects you now? Good question. When I first got like my first true piercing, which was several years ago, I don't count my lobes. The reason why I have 3 is because I just like the look of them when I was in high school. I had gotten another cartilage piercing done at Claire's, and that was just because everyone else was getting it done, so I wanted it done. But when I finally started getting into it and getting that nostril piercing and then the rejected belly button piercing and then getting my first cartilage pierced, like my actual first helix piercing over here. At first I was just like, this is kind of fun. I really like this. I like how it looks. It's very unique. And then it just kind of became a little bit of an addiction, and I just love them. So it started off as something like, oh, that looks pretty snazzy. It's different. I like that. So the reason why I got my nostril and then like a helix done was because it was becoming more of a norm. And I liked how it looked on people. And so I was like, I want that. I want a little pizzazz on my nose. I want a little something extra in my ear. And so that was the main reason. Now I'm just addicted and I just love piercings and body mods and tattoos. I used to be very adamantly against tattoos. How the times they change. Do you know if septum piercing affects singing? Silly question, but maybe you know about it. I have not actually heard that one before. That's not a silly question, because especially if it's a concern. I mean, I'm just a bad singer on my own, so maybe I can blame it on my septum piercing. I haven't heard if it affects it. Any singers out there with a septum piercing notice anything? Because I don't. I still sound horrible. What are the sizes of your piercings? Gauges, length, gem size, etc. Very good question. I get this a lot and it's kind of hard to answer. The majority of everything is 16 gauge, 5/16 of an inch, either in length or diameter. However, there are a few that vary. My tragus are 1/4 of an inch because it is a smaller space. So I have a shorter bar. Actually, that's the only one that's different lengthwise or diameter wise. Even my septum clicker and my DAITH septum clicker, they're both 5/16 of an inch in diameter. All of my studs are 5/16 of an inch in length. As for stone size, the majority are either 2.5 millimeter or 3 millimeter. My tragus I think might be a 2 millimeter. My nostril is a 3, my Medusa is a 3. So it kind of varies depending on where it is, but the majority of everything is 5/16 of an inch in length or diameter, 16 gauge, 3 millimeter stones. That's the majority. Have you ever gotten a tattoo of a pet? I'm thinking of getting my childhood cat done. This is my black cat, Spock. This was modeled after him, including the little white spot on his chest. So yes, I do. I never planned to get any tattoos of my animals just because I'm an animal lover and I have so many pets that my entire body would be covered in like a year. I get very generic ones that kind of relate to them, but that one ended up being a cover up and I was like, I want a black cat tattoo. Let's just kind of make him resemble my current black cat. Will you be getting your second hole stretched as well? So this person is referring to my second lobe ones. I've thought about it. Definitely wouldn't go as big as what my first ones are, but I've thought about it. I do like the look of it. I would probably only go to like maybe a 6 or a 4 gauge. No bigger than that because I do have a third one and I don't want it to crowd so much. But I've thought about it. Not gonna do it right now, but I've thought about it. If a tattoo artist makes a mistake, how do you tell them? In person or by text? If a tattoo artist makes a mistake, what kind of mistake are we talking? I think it depends on the type of mistake, but also while you're getting the tattoo, you should be kind of watchful and mindful of it. It shouldn't be a complete surprise when you get to the end. So then that kind of makes that second part not happen. At least then they can kind of sort of fix it. I don't know. I've never had that problem. What's the best products to use while stretching first time? I personally have found things like bio oil to be really helpful to make sure that your lobes stay healthy or whatever you're stretching stays healthy. Definitely any kind of like lube or oil or something that makes it a little bit easier for things to slide through. Definitely finding good quality jewelry. I personally have not had bad experiences with tapers. I know a lot of people don't like them and say use just glass plugs, which is fine, but I personally really liked the kit that Urban Body Jewelry offers, so I always recommend that. I mean, if you're smart about it, if you do it correctly, if you're not stupid with stretching, there's nothing wrong with it, despite what people will try and tell you. And the final question is, what's the most extreme body mod you have witnessed or seen? Will you ever consider suspension? We'll answer that last one first and say, no. Anytime I've seen suspension happen, it makes me queasy. Like, more power to anyone that does it, but me, like when I see it, because Dave Navarro, one of the hosts of Ink Master, I know he's into it, and it just, I'm like, I don't know how skin just doesn't rip off from a body. I just don't get it. So no, I would not do suspension. More power to those who do. As for the most extreme one I've ever seen or witnessed, I haven't really witnessed or seen anything like in person. A lot of the things I've seen are just online. People uploading them onto YouTube. So I guess anything like that, like pointed ears, splitting tongues, things like that, like subdermal implants, but I've never seen anything in person. So that is it for April's Body Mods Q&A. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted a question. There were some really good ones this month. If I didn't answer your question, it's because I'm either planning to do a video like entirely about that question in the future, or I've answered it before and you can go back and watch it. If you'd like a question featured in May's Body Mod Q&A, leave them below in the comments, or if you follow me on Instagram, wait for me to post the little question story where you can submit it that way. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big ol' thumbs up. Go on down there and hit that subscribe button wherever it may be, because I don't know. Even though I do, this is just my shtick now. Also hit that notification bell in case you want to know when I upload, and in case YouTube wants to let you know when I upload, because I would really appreciate it. And until next time, bye guys.